Good morning, everyone. Regards to the Deputy Chief Minister, the Industry Minister, and my special regards and thanks to Minister Shri Priyank Kharge ji. When I'm sitting on this stage, I'm remembering my time at Intel, which I was with 3 months ago. I remember when I took over the role for Intel as the country president for Intel in India, I started with 4,000 people, and thanks to Minister Shri Priyank Kharge ji, he was then Minister ITBT also, he enabled us with so many solutions that we were able to grow Intel from 4,000 people to 30,000 people. So huge thank you, sir. I will never forget all of the challenges that you helped me with. I want to start with, this is Namma Bengaluru. I also want to say, and pardon me for my accent, I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Nanna Saubhagya, Nanu Bengaluru, Navalu. It's an honor to be here because Bangalore is mine. So, Tumba Dhanyavadagaru. I want to start with our country, India. Our nation has been a consumption-driven economy. And over the last so many years, consumption is what we were driving the growth of GDP. We were very similar to the United States of America, which was also a consumption-driven economy. But what happens is the rate of growth slows down. The rate of growth slows down because the number of the jobs created with consumption is far less in terms of percentage as compared to manufacturing. We realized it several years ago, and now there is a push nationwide to make our nation a manufacturing-driven economy. Now, for manufacturing-driven economy, there are several things which we must do. There are challenges in terms of capacity. So what does the government do? Stands up to say, I am going to enable manufacturing for a product with certain incentives. Now, incentives are not meant to be lifetime support for manufacturing, but to jumpstart such that we can get onto the track of continuous manufacturing and improvement. The second thing is R&D. And I'm really, really happy to share with you that in terms of policy, Karnataka's policy towards R&D is the most amenable for development and innovation. There is an ER&D policy. The third thing is drawing people to come and work out of Karnataka. I'll tell you, I'm happy to say that whether it is capability, whether it's capacity or culture, Karnataka has it all. Karnataka has a tendency to undercommit and over-deliver. Less than 5% of the nation's population and more than 8% of the GDP. That clearly tells you that the might that India is hoping to stand on, the shoulder of technology, Karnataka will play a huge role. I'm going to come to my current role. I'm with Invest India, and just like the name suggests, my charter is to bring investment into and from India. And why from India? We are in the game, guys. We have a lot to deliver. And you heard whether it is landing on the south pole of the moon, whether it is, driving the solar mission with Lagrangian 1 analysis, whether it is sports, so many gold medals that we won, or even governance leadership with G20, we've shown it all. We also are a third largest startup nation with more than 100,000 plus startups. And I'm happy to say that the deep tech startups are maximum out of Bangalore. I also want to tell you that Bangalore and Karnataka are the fourth largest technology cluster of the world. We have arrived, guys, as a nation, as a state, and as a city. I also must tell you that as Invest India, I'm also looking at ensuring there's return of investment. So I was just talking to Mark Papermaster, the Honorable CTO from AMD, and saying, you know, we are committed to support you. You have an amazing team, but we will hold hands with you till you see the return of your investment, whether it is from policy or regulations, or fiduciary with, you know, your incentives that we are providing, from whether it's from central government or state government. Lastly, if there is any R&D partnership, you know, India is really pushing for EV. I was so happy to see that very much like the data cost. Data cost is the cheapest in India because we consume the largest. If data was food, we would never go hungry. Similarly, if EV is important for us, I can tell you there's one startup that amazed me, you know, blew my mind off, is a startup that's building power electronics to enhance 30% capacity of car battery. Now, when we look at cars, yes, we are fourth largest automotive nation, but most of our cars are small. They don't have the ability to keep the range anxiety solving car batteries, the likes of what Tesla and Mercedes are offering. But this power electronics startup adds 30% capacity to a small car battery. Imagine a 300 miles becomes 400. And the power electronics weight, you know, is peanuts. So India is innovating. Karnataka is innovating, Bangalore is innovating. So we want to make sure that to the world who wants to invest in India, we will showcase you the technologies, we will showcase the ecosystem of suppliers, and as a result of all of this need, Invest India is putting together a landing platform. Just like we have Startup India, where we have 100,000 registered startup, this landing platform will enable people like Mark to look at, if he's investing in Karnataka, he will be able to see all of the supplier base that is present in Karnataka, which has anything to do with what he does. Similarly, we are also looking at policy comparisons by state. And we are comparing the policy of the state to the best of the nations. Why should any laptop manufacturer send its supply base from one country that I don't want to name names, but to another country? Why is India not the most favorable nation for the supply chain movement? So for that, what we are doing is we are comparing country by country. State, we know, based on the supplier marketplace that we are building through this landing platform, I know Karnataka stands for semiconductor design. Karnataka stands for pharma. So we're looking at who are the countries which semiconductor is being attracted to, what are their policies, what are their regulations, what are their incentives, and we're building this report to showcase to the customer. Invest India is funded by states as well. So my heart is as invested in Karnataka as it cares about India. The last thing I want to say is I'm very honored that a lot of people are here, many dignitaries from abroad, my friends from Netherlands. I really want to say to you, the government in India is listening. If you have challenge, and I'm not saying we have no challenge, if I had no challenge as a nation or as a state, I wouldn't have to be calling you. We are here to listen to you. We are here to solve your problems. And this much I can commit. Having heard the ministers, having heard the industry consortiums, we are here to solve your problem because I know India is going to grow 3x by 2030, 10x by 2047. And if you are an investor, you care about the return, and we'll care about making sure that you get the return. Thank you very much.